It's like in the neighborhoods behind Noe's.
There's no castles
No,
behind
I'm
those.
telling you, I snuck into a castle once. I didn't. It wasn't a castle. It was just a regular house in
I
Seguin.
was hoping it was a big house at
No,
least.
it was not
There's-
a big house. It was just one of those houses behind Noe's, behind Austin
it was
Street.
just a shed.
Yeah.
They knew you were in there. They just didn't care.
This is what the king sees every day.
Halt! Who goes there? It's just a little rat. Scurries on out. Stop, you druid!
Druids aren't real. I mean, they are real. Not the druid you're talking about. A druid that turned into a rat is not real.
Well, neither is a castle in Seguin.
This is Twin Stick Radio, episode 46 for the week of November 27th, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Trey Higgins, and I'm joined by Chris Rodriguez
Hello.
and Justin T. Lopez.
Hello, everyone.
How's it going, guys? How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. Bree has a big family, so we had Thanksgiving like twice, Thursday and Friday. So that was nice.
I'm not the biggest fan of Thanksgiving, so it was okay.
Did you eat?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, of course. I mean, tamales.
Like Thanksgiving food?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm not really either. I always go, and I usually just eat macaroni, turkey, and green beans. And my parents always make fun of me. 'Cause
Just
there's
green
always
beans?
something
Not
that's-
even green bean
So
casserole?
like
don't think we have
literally,
green
so
bean
like
casserole.
literally, you just have dinner. It's
Yeah.
not even Thanksgiving dinner. You just have dinner.
Yeah, because I don't like a lot of Thanksgiving food.
How do you not
Oh
like
my
stuffing?
Because it's
Stuffing's
wet
the
bread,
You've never had. You've never had good stuffing.
probably.
I fully believe.
I
like,
wanted to try Whitney's mom's stuffing last year.
that one's good, and my Aunt Eva's is good. Like I fully believe if you don't like stuffing, then you have grown up in a family that did not know how to make good stuffing.
See, but Thanksgiving is the perfect holiday for me because literally you're cooking food at like noon, you eat it, and then, oh, what's this? 6 hours later, you guys want to eat it again? Boom. Justin Holiday.
Who's Justin Holiday?
Yeah, but most people don't leave it sitting out on the counter with flies and shit, like
They cover it.
chomping off of it.
You put aluminum foil on it, it stays good forever.
See, I sort of agree with you in the sense of tamales. Like tamales are a thing. Like there's
Tamales they have their own wrapper.
there's hundreds of tamales made on Thanksgiving Day, and they last until Christmas, and they're great.
I would be
Are
so
those the
happy.
same ones people sell for Christmas?
I don't know if that's. I'm just saying, like you make some, you freeze some, then
yeah.
you just heat them up. It's just they last forever.
It's true.
And they're great.
I'd be so happy if my Thanksgiving had tamales.
See, that's
They
what I'm
could.
talking about, dude. You're so white.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah. I'm the most Mexican-looking person out of like my
Which-
Thanksgiving family, and my sister has the same
you know
genes
what?
as me.
But that's because your mom was Hispanic. Your
My
real
mom was
mom's
Hispanic,
Hispanic.
yeah.
That's where that's. But your dad and Jen are both pretty fucking white.
Oh, I mean they're entirely white.
Yeah, that was
My
right.
grandparents are entirely white.
That's
my
right.
sister doesn't even
That's
look
right.
Mexican
That's
at all,
right,
and we
that's
have
right.
the same exact genes.
That's right.
Like ketchup is spicy to them.
But it's
The
also
Whataburger ketchup, they're all.
it's also weird though, because like my two younger brothers, we share a mom, and they don't look Mexican at all either. I'm like the only out of my four siblings. I'm the only one that like could lightly pass for Mexican.
Sure.
Like you like double take, but you know I still pass for white.
I forget how white your family is.
Yeah.
It's like you should have tamales. You're fucking Mexican, but you're not. You're not. There's no Mex. There's like 0.1% Mexican inside of you.
like you would be the one to make the tamales. Like that's, if you're not
I'm
doing
just like,
it, no one is.
My Thanksgiving ritual, I'm just sitting on the floor flopping tortillas.
I like how
Flopping
that.
tortillas.
I like how that's how you think tamales are
So
made.
this backs up what I'm gonna say. It's like Trey thinks he's flopping tortillas, and like he's probably making tamales. Like he's taking scoops of actual corn and like mashing it into the thing.
It's just corn and ground
Yeah.
beef.
I made some tamales, guys.
He's like, these aren't very good.
I accidentally threw away the corn husk, so it's just an aluminum foil.
Actually, corn with like, have you ever had like mashed potato casserole? It's
Wait.
hamburger meat and corn and like layers of mashed potatoes. It's good.
That's
sounds
like
really good.
That's like shepherd's pie.
Yeah, kind of like shepherd's pie. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. He's just making shepherd's pie just with just
Now that I
corn
think
and
about it.
corn and hamburger meat
Just the same thing.
and tamale shucks.
That's how your parents would change it up on you. Like, oh, today we're having shepherd's pie, and then like a couple days later, it's like, oh, mashed potato casserole.
Sure, yeah. Also, Whitney bakes for Thanksgiving. She made pumpkin and apple pies. They're just so fucking good.
Oh, that
She
sounds
makes
good.
what are the green apples called? I know there's sour
Granny Smith?
apples. Granny, is that right?
Mhm.
That sounds right. She uses those, but puts bourbon in her like apple mix, whatever goes inside there. I don't know how to make apple pie. It's so good.
Those are the best
She's like
apples for
cooking
bacon.
the filling or whatever.
Yeah, it's so fucking good.
Our house is like it's like a
It's like a war zone.
war zone, but
Yeah.
like I want to say it's like a hard hat zone more
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
because you just every couple minutes, ow,
Yep.
ow.
Hard hat zone. I just picture going to your house and there's a sign that's like, "Please mind our dust."
Yeah.
And people just walk.
Well, no,
around
it's
in
like
hard hats.
it's
you
like
got a foreman going around.
It's like they just got done like filming the Great fucking British Cook-Off or whatever the hell
Yeah.
that thing is at our house, and there's like baking pans stacked up everywhere. It's like I don't like wash. I'll do the dishes, but I hate washing those. It's like I fucking hate washing baking shit.
Yeah, that's why I like the throwawayable
Sure.
ones.
Also,
not disposable.
Also-
Don't you sit here and judge me.
also, it's been freezing the last few nights, so we'd have to. All the plants are inside. There's plants on top of our washing machine. There's plants hanging in our kitchen. There's
Our house
plants.
is now a forest.
It's fucking ridiculous.
We had
I bet your cats love that though.
Oh man.
the last time there was like kind of like a freeze like a week ago. We had a plant in the bathroom that was
Yep.
like sitting in front of the sink. I'm pretty sure we ruined it just by standing on it because it was like pretty long.
Yep.
One day I like lifted up my foot and like the bottom of it was green and I was like, "What is going on?"
Thank fucking Odin's Raven. We're moving to a bigger house soon.
Yeah.
Jeez.
If you
For all,
guys
for all your plants.
Yeah.
if you guys haven't listened to us before, we're a podcast about video games. We record weekly and we are now up on Wednesdays. We start the show with the same segment every week. Chris, I'm going to ask you what you're playing, but I want
Okay.
you to save the main thing you've been playing this past day
Okay.
For after the news.
Okay.
What have you been playing
Did you
besides
get?
that?
Did
I
you
don't
get all
know.
that?
I'm really like anxious now. I don't know what to say. I don't know if I should say it or not.
You should.
It's
Okay.
weird because like technically you've been playing the same game. But
Sure. Oh, but it's okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Has anyone played
Okay,
anything
I
other than
understand.
Red Dead?
Yeah, I played Red Dead online. We'll just talk about, and then I played the actual game. I got to 97.5% completion so far.
Finally got that challenge.
I
done
got
that
the
you've been
sharpshooter
struggling with.
challenge. I got everything's done except for 2 gambler challenges.
Are they
I
all
sat-
based on luck?
No, I got past the one that's based on luck, and literally I watched like 4 episodes of Westworld while hitting X.
Oh, you're watching Westworld now
Yeah,
too.
I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I don't. So here we go. Tangent. Here we go.
You should be fairly close to the end of the first season.
I'm
right?
already finished with the first season.
Okay.
I really enjoy a lot of things about Westworld. Like it's really cool. I think the concept is neat. I think they took that original concept by who did that original movie?
Was it Michael?
Michael
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it
Thank
Michael
you, Everett.
Crichton?
Michael Crichton.
Will Smith.
He wrote the book and,
Yeah.
and did the screenplay for the movie too. Anyway, I like how they evolved it to 2018 standards, right? But there's like things about that show that are just. Has everybody seen at least the first season here? Yeah,
Spoilers if you haven't.
yeah. I mean, it's
Spoiler,
it's 2 years. Yeah,
Yeah. Get over it.
I really, really like the idea of the time jumps without them telling you it's a time jump by showing the Man in Black's past and how William became that. I love
yeah.
it. I think that's
that was very cool.
I thought that was really fucking cool. But then in season 2, they're doing the same. I'm 1 episode into season 2, and they do the same thing, but they don't do it well enough to the. I know there's a time jump because you use it in season 1. Now you're overusing it in season 2, and I'm not 100%. If I have to think, it's like, okay, where in the time jump am I? That's really annoying. Like after the show, I'm thinking it's like, analyzing, it's cool. But if I have to think that hard in a TV show, you're not doing your time jumps right. Because I'm still not. It took me an entire
How
episode.
far are you into season 2?
Just the first episode. It took me that entire episode to realize where on the timeline Bernard was at the specific times. And it took me a whole episode to figure it out, and that was really annoying to me because I had to think. It's like, okay, he's trying to get away, but then like, is that happening after he gets picked up by on the beach? On the beach,
Yeah.
it was just fucking annoying, man. That
Yeah.
was really, really fucking annoying, and I love the entire story all the way up until Dolores is Wyatt. I hate that. I fucking hate that Dolores was Wyatt the whole time. I don't know why. I just do. I think, Trey was telling me at the when I first started, he's like, they try to force Dolores so hard to make her a main character, and she is, but I just hate that they they did that. I think it's
Yeah. They try to make her Daenerys, and it doesn't work.
sure, yeah. And I just, as far as like the whole idea of why it goes, I think it just would have been cool to introduce a Negan character
Yeah.
at the end of that first season.
It's kind of what I was expecting. I was hoping Wyatt would be his own character.
Of course,
It, like,
it would have
I
been.
feel like
it would have been
Dolores-
much better.
I feel like Dolores could have been her own very cool, unique character
Yep.
on her own. You don't have to shoehorn her into being Wyatt.
Sure, and like I said, there's a lot of things I love. I love the fact that they, I didn't expect Bernard to be Arnold. Never saw that coming.
That was cool.
I thought that was really neat. I think the idea that Dolores is still one of those first prototypes, and she's
first
been,
generation
she's,
ones,
and
yeah.
I think that's really cool. There's a lot of really great things about this show. I think the Man in Black is a fucking phenomenal character. I was really worried he was going to die in that first season, but I don't really have the motivation to keep going in it.
I think that the first episode. All right, here's the thing about season 2. I think season 2, by the end of it, it is better than season 1, because season 1, like, you end it and you don't get answers. You really don't. Like, if you were to take the information that you get by the end of season 1 compared to the end of season 2,
Maybe
it season 1 is very lackluster,
I
and the
guess.
wait between the two was super
I guess
annoying.
I feel like the most of the questions were answered.
They weren't.
Like the end of the maze. The end of the maze is just an android gaining consciousness. That's what I got. That's literally
you
it.
have to
Season
watch
2
it.
expands.
Oh, see, that's dumb.
But
that's really fucking dumb.
The thing about the I think the first episode, especially for those of us that have been waiting, like, I think it was like 2 years before the new season started, it's not great. But I think the way that they handle the time jumps, after you become aware of the fact that, like, there is a time jump, the way that they kind of balance it as the show goes on, I think is significantly better.
Okay.
I also
and there's some really, really great episodes in season 2.
Yeah.
Like, just standalone, wherever they focus on just certain characters. It's some of my favorite episodes have been in season 2.
So I just keep watching. Like I said, like I told you, when you first started watching it, like, at the end of the day, like, season 1 and 2 are a complete story. Like, really, there's nothing, like, they don't need to make a season 3, even though they will. So I think if you like season 1 enough to finish it, it's worth finishing season 2.
Well, see,
And it's
but
so
that's
short.
But that's how many episodes is it?
10.
That's not short. That's 10 hours worth of fucking watching something.
But it's not. I'm still going through Supernatural. Okay, it's not like
Sure.
14
I
seasons
hate
of.
network TV shows.
I don't. Some network TV shows are way better.
I mean,
than
I
HBO
love
shit.
I love Supernatural, but I'm just
Uh,
I'm in 2012 right now in Supernatural time.
Yeah. But that's the dumb part, is because, like, I didn't finish episode 1 because I liked it. I finished season 1 because I felt compelled to finish it. It's like Twin Peaks. Like, I'm only 2 episodes away from finishing Twin Peaks, and, like, I don't like it. I think it's a terrible fucking show. I don't understand the aura around Twin Peaks. I just think it's fucking horrible, but I want to finish Twin Peaks just on principle.
That's
you know
how
what I mean?
that's how I felt about some of the earlier seasons of American Horror Story. I was like going
Sure,
through
yeah.
like season 3 and 4, and I was just like, I
It's so
just I want to
You-
jump
wait,
off
you
a
think
bridge.
Season 3 is bad?
Coven, yes, I
Oh, God.
hated Coven, and then it followed up with Freak Show, and I was
Freak
like,
Show's
I'm,
awful.
I'm done. I took a break after
Yeah.
Freak Show. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, I probably will finish it, but we'll talk about it later. Destiny seems like they're doing a pretty big update. It seems interesting. Red Dead Online is a thing. Sure, we'll get
definitely
there.
talk about
But yeah, I don't know. We have HBO now. HBO Go now? HBO now.
HBO now.
And
now.
so I'd rather catch up on Game of Thrones, to be honest with you, because the last thing I remember seeing is everybody caught up in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoilers for 2 years ago in Game of Thrones. The last thing I remember is John dying.
Actually,
That's the
it's
last
3.
thing I saw.
They skipped a year. It's 3 years
Oh, so
now.
it's 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last thing I remember is John dying after the battle at the wall.
Dang. So you've been
Yeah, dude, I
Out of
just
it.
I haven't had cable TV in 3 years, so
Cool, because you have just 2 seasons of shit that wasn't in the books.
yeah.
So, like-
see, that's the thing, is like where I ended up is basically where the book stopped. I was reading them in college. I'm basically like I've got my theories of what's happening, and I've luckily been able to pretty much stay away from spoilers, other than like
Your memory sucks. I think I have told you the
maybe
spoilers and you forgot them.
maybe other than like I know one of the dragons becomes fucking undead at some point in time, just because you see those trailers and shit, which seems cool. But the trajectory of the 2 main characters, I think I know exactly where it's headed, and I think I'm right. So I'm like 90% sure I'm right.
Since we're talking about TV shows,
Welcome to the pop culture.
yeah, because I didn't play any games this last week.
Oh, and WWE 2K19. It's amazing.
Is it?
Oh, God. Those games are so fun. They're just fun. The microtransactions suck. They're 2K games, but they're so much fun. That's all.
What problem did you have last year?
The microtransactions.
No, but it was also the balance between, is this real or is this acting?
Sure.
Is it still
That's
like that?
I haven't done the My Player thing yet.
Okay.
So I
Never
don't
mind.
know. Yeah.
To be continued
Yeah.
on that. I played Red Dead, still in chapter 3. Woo.
Wow, you're never finishing this game.
I was playing a lot, although something funny did happen though. So I was playing the mission where you're burning up the
tobacco fields.
the tobacco fields
And
of
how
moonshine.
like it made me want to burn a tobacco field. It was really pretty.
So it gets to the point where Sean's like, "Hey, throw the thing and you start this fire."
It's
I
the
was like,
worst
"Okay."
Irish accent ever.
Oh, I wasn't trying to do an Irish accent. So I throw it in, and then Sean was standing behind me. He was like, "All right, my turn." And then he threw it, and he hit me with it. Like, he threw it on my back, and then we catch on fire, and he catches on fire. And in my head, I'm like, is this supposed to be happening? Like, surely the game just wouldn't let Sean throw a Molotov cocktail at me. Yeah. And then we died, and I had to restart the checkpoint.
That's pretty good, actually.
Speaking of TV, I don't want to go into spoilers for the show, but I finished The Haunting of Hill House.
It's a great show. Damn good show.
Oh my god. One episode in there, I don't want to tell anyone where it's at. One episode in there is flat out the best episode of television ever.
It's episode 6.
No, don't tell them.
It doesn't matter.
I don't want them to know because I want them to find it naturally.
But what if they don't know, like,
This
TV
is my
like
section to talk about the thing. I
But
don't want you
what
to
if
spoil it.
What if they don't know TV like you know TV? They're not going to get it. So
may-
now they know what to look for.
I feel like if you don't, but I feel like it's one of those things where if you don't get it, it's not. I don't know. I don't feel like it's just because of the way that it's filmed, because it's basically.
Oh, it's 100% the way it's filmed.
I don't think that's. I don't necessarily think. I don't think it's only that though. I think that, like, even if you don't know anything about how fucking cameras work and you don't notice, like, the fact that basically the only cuts in that show are when they're cutting between the past and the present, I feel like the way that they kind of play with the house and, like, shove things in the background and like totally actually start, like, the haunting in a really significant way. I feel like even if you don't understand what the camera's doing, you're gonna love it just for that aspect of it.
Sure.
But it's just it's brilliant. I love that show so much, and I hope they're going to do a season 2 from what I understand, but I hope they don't.
Of course.
I told you.
Anything
Yeah.
successful is gonna have season
I
2.
knew you were going to feel that. There's literally no reason in the world to make a second season of this.
No.
Unless, like you said, they go to a completely different house
Yeah.
in a completely different section of the world.
I
That's
hope-
fine.
I hope it's more of an anthology series rather
Like
than
a
American Horror Story.
yes, yeah. I do too.
So
Because they do not need to. There's no reason in the world to bring any of those characters back
yeah,
at all.
it's so good.
I would have said the same thing about Making a Murderer, and yet somehow season 2 of that.
I thought that was a real thing.
No, it is.
Oh.
Well, but it's like you have like a season, and it's like, oh, what happened?
Season 2 is a follow up to everything that happened after the documentary. It's worth watching.
Is it?
Yes. Yeah, it's worth watching. It's not like a sequel, like, oh, we're making up a story now about this character. It's literally like this documentary came out, shook up the world, and this is what's been happening since then.
Okay.
Speaking of TV and WWE,
Okay. Did you see the WWE movie that's coming out?
the one about Paige.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't. So Trey watches a little bit. And in his small amount of experience with wrestling, he understands it's all fake.
Yeah.
And he's okay with all of it. He's entertained by
Hot men.
Finn Balor.
Yeah.
He's entertained
Specifically.
by it.
Okay.
And I think to an extent, you sometimes you can be entertained. But if I'm explaining a storyline that's interesting, you can.
Oh,
you
yeah,
get
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But
I
that's
know a
the-
good story.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, like, I think 99% of WWE viewers know that's all fake.
Okay.
But WWE continues to create like hour-long TV shows for WWE Network that follow wrestlers for like a year, and it's all scripted and within like kayfabe, and it's annoying as fuck. I don't want to follow Dean Ambrose from the time he was injured to the time he came back, and him going through kayfabe the whole time. Like, let me see behind the scenes like you do in everything else.
Pause.
Sorry.
What's kayfabe?
Kayfabe is the idea that everything in wrestling is real.
Okay.
And most wrestlers, especially in the 80s and 90s, if you broke kayfabe, man, that was like cardinal sin number one in the wrestling industry.
So if you're like Finn Balor and you're talking to a fan, you're gonna pretend like everything is real.
You're going to pretend you fucking hate Baron Corbin and you hate, I'm the goodest guy in the world and Baron Corbin's evil, even though they play fucking video games on Twitch with each other all the fucking time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's really dumb. Anyway.
Yeah. Sorry, if you, I didn't mean.
Oh, no, it's
I
fine. But yeah,
interrupted
they
you,
continue to make these really long things and they preview it as like, man, that sounds fucking awesome. But then you give an hour of your life to them and it's still within kayfabe and you're like, God damn it. I don't care about Dean Ambrose and his fucking, rivalry and jealousy with Seth. I literally want to see Dean and Seth, not Dean and Seth. I want to see fucking Tyler Black and Dean. What's his last name? What's his real last name? I can't remember.
Winchester.
No, I want to see those two guys interact, and I want to see. It's just.
Isn't there that one show where they're like sitting at a bar and actually like talking, and it's them?
Yeah,
being
see,
people?
but that's what I mean. They make shows like that too, where you have like these. They had one with Finn, Matt, and Jeff. Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, and Finn Balor, and they were just shooting the shit about wrestling. Matt wasn't in his broken self, and Finn wasn't face painted up like the demon. They were just all shooting the shit, talking about the wrestling business. I just don't understand why they keep doing this shit. Sorry,
It's weird.
that's the WWE rant.
Yeah.
And that was our off-topic.
Yeah, you guys want to talk
I
about
hope you guys
video game
enjoy.
news?
No.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, it's really kind of a lame week. We have MPDs later, which I think is
Woot.
to me the second most exciting piece of news.
What's the first? Zelda? Because I just read that. I'm pissed.
It's Red Dead.
Okay.
Let's start with number one. The first major story-driven DLC for Assassin's Creed Odyssey has received a launch trailer. Assassin's Creed Odyssey Legacy of the First Blade will be divided into 3 episodes, with the first focusing on Cassandra or Alexios meeting Darius. A new Persian enemy group appears in the trailer. They are seen pillaging villages, wearing black masks, and are hunting the Tainted Ones, which includes the player character.
Oh snap! I'm tainted.
So dirty.
Maybe that could have been a quick save. Our quick save.
Yeah, it's
portion
fine.
Is kind of dumb. Are you excited? I mean, you don't own the game right now.
No, I don't own the game right now. I used whatever money I got for selling that game to get probably Red Dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 50 cents the GameStop.
No, I got
gave.
like $40 for that game. I got way more than half of it. Just take advantage of GameStop. It's really easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I almost Everett was asking me when we got here. It's like, hey, did you get any games on sale for Black Friday? And WWE was one I got for $27. I should have got Assassin's Creed because it was like $30. I think it's like $29.99. I should have just rebought it.
I got
Yeah,
Horizon
Just
Zero
got
Dawn.
that one.
I kind of. It's at that point it wouldn't be though because you've already got the platinum, and so you
very
just would
true.
have to buy all the DLC for it. So
Is it? Do I need the game disc to play the DLC?
Ooh, I don't know that.
See, if I don't need that, I can just pay $15 for the DLC and be done.
You would,
Th-
no,
there you
you would
go.
definitely need it.
That, but
You would
that's not true though because Assassin's Creed Black Flag was one of the first games to sell their DLC separately.
Yep.
That was a long time ago.
But also like, and they've done it since. And to me, that's such a smart idea though because a DLC pack for story-driven games like that, most of the time it's its own kind of thing.
Sure.
I think that's a really good way to promote the original game is to be like, hey, you don't know how you feel about Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Buy this and see how you feel. And if you like it,
Sure,
here you go. You
pay
can
the
go buy-
$15 for a quick little one-shot, basically story. If you enjoy it, go get the actual full game. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
See, I could see like Spider-Man doing that because it has its own.
Man, I've heard the Spider-Man DLC is not great.
I-
The heist one.
For
no,
the first episode is really, really good.
no. What's the next
Turf
two?
Wars.
Turf Wars. I've heard Turf Wars is not very good. It's kind of buggy, which sucks for such a polished game. Like
I haven't had time.
you
to
have
play it
DLC coming out that's buggy. That sucks. Anyway, go ahead.
I've heard the first one was good. But I haven't been following it too closely.
Yeah, but
'cause
people just like looking at Black Cat's cleavage.
I
That's
guess.
all they care about.
Yeah. Don't
He's not
understand
wrong.
it.
I don't get it.
Trace, I don't get it.
Zelda producer E.G. Anuma may have tipped Nintendo's hand in regards to the next Zelda game heading to Switch. Anuma made an on-stage appearance at a Legend of Zelda musical concert in Osaka, Japan.
Osaka.
Oh, okay. Osaka, Japan this past weekend. During the appearance, he mentioned but did not confirm a potential Switch version of 2011 Skyward Sword, according to Weibo users. Weeabo users.
Wait, is Weeabo a thing?
Yeah, I think it's a website.
Oh, I
read-
thought that was something you called like Damien.
No, I don't think it's Weeaboo.
Oh, okay.
It's missing an O.
Got it. Sorry, Damien.
Quote, I know what a lot of you are thinking, end quote, Anuma supposedly remarked. Quote, Skyward Sword for the Switch, right?
Did
End
they
quote.
say? Did they? Was there like a big no?
Fans are said to have responded with applause, but the producer left everyone hanging with only that tease. Neither Anuma nor anyone else at Nintendo has said anything else on the matter, so the statement can hardly be taken as an official announcement of anything.
Well, see, maybe if they responded with a yes or a no instead of applause, they would have gotten an answer.
Yeah, he's like, well, not a. I was just looking for a yes, but he goes back. He's like, we
Well,
need to
goodbye.
cancel this game. No one said yes.
Yeah. Is anybody looking forward to this?
So I've never played Skyward Sword. It's one of those ones that I missed. I don't know that I'm looking forward to it, but I kind of like the idea that maybe they're giving it another chance because I've heard it's great.
But when the creator of Zelda comes on stage in front of you, he's on our white table right now, and he points at Trey Higgins and he says, "You're looking forward to Skyward Sword on Switch, right? Are you gonna go, yay? Or are you gonna be like, no, actually, maybe like another Zelda or maybe a more beloved one?"
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things though. Like, is it shocking that they keep doing this with Zelda?
No, it's not.
I think I wouldn't react anyway. I think I wouldn't react anyway because I've been doing it for fucking 5
Sure.
years at this point.
And it's not a shock. It's not a shock because everything on Switch is a fucking port up or something to that extent. Yeah, so it's not a shock. It's just dumb. Like, fucking
Yeah.
Well, but this one also came out on
Came out on Wii.
and Wii U.
No, it didn't.
No, it
it
did
came
not.
out
It was
on
just
Wii.
on the Wii.
You can just play it on the Wii U because the Wii U could play Wii games.
The only Zelda,
Oh, gotcha.
Zelda that came out on the Wii U was the cartoon one.
No, two. The
Wind
Twilight
Waker.
Princess and Wind Waker.
Oh,
Waker
Twilight did
remakes-
come out on Wii U.
Remakes
Yeah.
both came
Yeah,
out on.
you're right.
Which that's my thing though. Like if you're talking about games that I want to see ported, like if I had to choose games that needed to be ported to the Switch, those two remakes do.
Sure.
I don't think that there is no problem for
The-
people playing fucking Wii games.
Sure.
But I think there's a lot of people that might have missed.
The remake of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on DS would be great on Switch as well.
Yes, I would love for Majora's Mask to be on there.
I am getting to a point in my life. I'm gonna speak blasphemy. I'm really just sick of hearing about those two games. Like I'm just kind of done.
Really? I mean,
Yes,
we don't
because-
hear about them like often.
I feel like people talk about them all the time, and it's this like people talk about the best games ever made, and there's like a 30-minute conversation in the middle there about how great Ocarina of Time was, because it is a was. Because if you compare that to games that are kind of doing the same things in modern times,
Sure,
like,
but
Ocarina of Time isn't that great, and I get that, but like it seems like there's you can't. No one ever says like it's really great for the time. But now it's not, it doesn't necessarily hold up the same way that it did 5 years ago or 10 years ago.
I think that's what the word was is supposed to assume, right? If I say Ocarina of Time was an amazing game, that's what I mean, right?
Yes, but I don't think the conversations are framed with was.
Oh, sure, maybe not because I think most of the time people talking about video games, at least in my eyes, are younger than me. So they still have that whole like they played Ocarina of Time when they were 6. I played Ocarina of Time when I was 14, and I understood that it wasn't the greatest game of all time. I understood that it was amazing. It was fucking amazing for the time for its time. But I understood at 14 years old that I understood. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And like most of the people in the video game industry that you see talking on Reddit and Twitter and podcasts, they're all young guys, other than like maybe the Giant Bomb guys. Some of those guys are older, but they're all like 20-ish. So they have the rose-colored glasses of nostalgia on half the time, like with you and I at Star Wars. Like I always have those fucking rose-colored glasses on with Star Wars. Anything that comes out in Star Wars, I just fucking, gush over because it's Star Wars. But I think that's maybe what people do with Ocarina.
I understand that, but first of all, it goes into maybe a bigger conversation about the problem with just gaming journalism in general. But my thing, the thing that irritates me is that like in the time since fucking Ocarina of Time. We've had Red Dead Redemption 2, Mass Effect 2, Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic,
Sure.
Halo 3. I mean, there are so many Last of Us which has its problems, but is one of the best stories told in a video
Sure.
game. So many great games, and the way that people talk about Ocarina is that it's like this is the pinnacle of gaming.
Sure.
The gaming is hit its high point here, and it's like, well, we're 20 years later, maybe we should like just accept the fact that it wasn't the pinnacle and that things
Sure.
are better now than they were then.
Sure. I agree. Because
Hot,
we all know
hot
that
takes with Trey.
we all know that Red Dead Redemption 2 is the pinnacle of gaming right now.
You know what grinds my gears when people talk about how great Ocarina of Time is.
Way to take on the man, Trey.
Because
Yeah.
it fucking sucks.
I don't think it sucks. I think it's a great game. I just think it's not. It just doesn't hold up the way
No,
that
it
people
doesn't
think
hold
it
up.
does.
It sucks. It sucks real bad now. Like, if you ever tried to play it recently, it sucks. Even the DS one sucked.
I prefer Majora's Mask over Ocarina of Time.
I agree. I didn't
just
like
me.
the time element, but I agree.
I love the mask element
Sure.
and Majora.
All right, here we go. This is a fun topic. Bungie unveiled details about Destiny 2's first mini expansion, Black Armory, on Tuesday. Black Armory will be made available to PS4, Xbox One, and PC players on December 4th, bringing with it new exotic items and the ability for players to increase their power levels. Story-wise, the mini expansion sees the titular Black Armory's Ada 1 tasking players with reigniting 4 special weapon forges that were lost during the Golden Age. As part of this quest line, players in groups of up to 3 can band together in the new Lost Forges activity in pursuit of one of the Black Armory's new weapons. Players will first need to collect a number of materials, and then will place them into the forge, which will trigger waves of enemy attacks. If able to successfully fend off the enemies while the forge finishes its work, players will unlock a new weapon for themselves from the Black Armory. Black Armory will also let players earn new mods for all Forsaken weapons and bring back heavy machine guns. Finally, Black Armory adds Scourge of the Past, a raid set in the abandoned sections of Earth's last city. While Lost Forges sounds like will be light on the story, the Scourge of the Past is expected to expand Destiny's lore by letting players explore areas of the last city they've never seen before. Whew.
Oh, am I supposed to go first?
I have something to say, but I figured
well,
maybe
say it.
this is all well and good. I think this sounds cool. I think the raid sounds cool. However, the thing that really pissed me off about this was that Bungie has confirmed that there isn't going to be a standalone version of this game, of this DLC. In order to get it, you have to buy the season pass. For me, that's just really frustrating because I don't know what to expect from these DLCs. This is the first time that we've had a mini expansion like this come out, so I don't know if after I play the first one that I'm going to want to play the next 3. I don't know if especially with the way that they've kind of weighted the end game significantly towards like the hardcore players and the people that are willing to grind for thousands of hours to get one fucking thing. I don't know if this DLC is going to accommodate my playstyle. So why am I going to spend $40 or $30 on an expansion pack and not know if I'm going to play the next 3?
Sure.
I just think it's just a really shitty move. Especially when they're going to sit there and fuck us over with how much we've spent on the game every other week. There's some new thing about how people are getting this game way cheaper than everyone else did.
You can get everything right now for $40.
Yeah,
everything.
and that's fine. But like, don't fuck me over with money more. I'm your base. I've been there since day one. I love your game. Let me buy it on my own terms and accept the consequences. If I want to spend more money on the DLC to buy them individually, I have that right as a player. But don't force me to spend more money when you're going to give this shit away for free in a fucking year. Just like you did with Curse of Osiris and Warmind. Like, don't force me to do shit I don't want to do and then fuck me over. It's so infuriating. And it's not a problem to them because it's like, oh, Activision
Of course,
thinks
it's not
we're
a problem
failing.
to them.
It's frustrating. It makes me mad because if I don't commit to the season pass, I'm not playing Destiny in the next year. You have in order to keep playing this game in any meaningful way, you have to keep up with the DLC. And if I don't do that, then I fucking just wasted another $40 on Forsaken. That's another fucking rant with Trey.
Yeah, well, it's just how Bungie makes you feel.
Yeah. What do you think, Chris? Or Justin? Whoever.
No, I mean, it's exactly what you said. I think it's stupid that they're trying to gouge people for it's dumb for them to try to force people to buy the season pass whenever it's not necessarily required, especially for this. You know? Especially with at least with the description that you typed up, it doesn't sound like for me personally, it doesn't sound like it's a whole lot.
It is because that forge activity. So if you look at their timeline, there's 4 different forge activities that are spread out throughout the entire season of the forge. So like you'll have a week and a half to do one, and another week to do another one, another week to do another one, another week to do another one.
Okay, so it spaces it out.
Yeah,
you
it
can't just go
spaces-
for all 4.
Right, you can't just go for all 4 in 1 week. So what that tells me is it's going to take the week for most. I'm sorry, yeah, I'd say for most, it's going to take the week for most players to gather whatever resources you need to unlock whatever weapon this is supposed to give you. Right. You know, I already have the annual pass because I don't want to say Bungie tricked me into believing in them, because I don't think they did, but they definitely gave. I mean, you guys know how I feel about Forsaken. They took a perfectly
I think
perfect game and just flipped it on its side and catered it toward not me and not the majority of their players.
I think it was just one of those things where that first and second week of Forsaken, I don't know when you bought the annual pass, but I think we both left it being like, Destiny has a bright future.
Sure.
And I think both of us were as committed as we were last year.
Yeah,
you know?
sure. Until we realize it's going to take a lot more time than we actually have to play this game like we want to play it.
Yep.
And the same thing goes here. But again, like they've already got my money, so they've already, for lack of a better term right now that I can think of, they tricked me into buying this thing. So they've already got my money, and I'm not just going to let it go to waste. You know what I mean? So I'm going to log in and play and see what it's about. But am I going to accomplish the things I want to accomplish? Absolutely not. That's the worst part about it is I've already paid $40 for this next year of content in Destiny 2, and I won't be able to get my $40 worth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And to me, that's the most frustrating thing about this whole thing.
Well-
is I still haven't got my $40 worth of Forsaken because we can't.
Yeah,
We don't have the time to do what Destiny asks us to, or what Bungie asks us to do in this game.
And then you also have the time gating where
Exactly.
it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, and so I've already paid for content that I'm not going to get to experience fully because we can't raid. We still don't have friends to raid. We just don't, and we don't have time to sit down for 4 fucking hours in a day and hope to God that we can get an LFG together.
Yeah.
And then hope that nobody quits halfway through. So we wait another hour. We're looking for some. We don't have time to do any of it. So I've paid for this stuff, and I've kind of gotten screwed out of it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think tricked is a good word for it,
Maybe.
especially whenever I think
Maybe
about.
inadvertently tricked.
Well, I don't, but that's the thing. I don't think it's inadvertent. Everything that Bungie does is done with intention, and none of this stuff is accidental. It's not like they're accidentally screwing you guys over. They're purposefully doing things to where you're going to spend your money and more than likely not be able to get your money's worth out of it.
Sure. I think it is. I think maybe inadvertently to me is better, just because I don't think they went into Forsaken and how they changed his game expecting to screw Trey and I over.
Yeah,
They just went into this changing the game for the vocal minority who are yelling at him the loudest.
And I think they assumed that we were just part of that. Like,
Right.
oh, so many people are saying this. Obviously, everyone feels this way.
Right.
Meanwhile,
The
we're like,
200 people we flew out to Seattle. The 200 people speak for the entirety of the tens of millions of people playing this game.
I don't know. I feel like a big company like Bungie would know, and this is my assumption, that they would know that that's not the case, that these people that you're giving the game to for free, that play it all the time, do not represent the majority of people playing your game.
I don't think they do know, though, because if you think about, I mean, to a certain degree, whenever they made that choice to focus it to the hardcore, they are consciously choosing to fuck over the people that liked the game as it was.
Destiny 1 all the way through Curse of Warmind.
Yeah. I think you have to make that choice when you're angling the game like this. And I think to them, it was like, well, the majority of people are going to like this because the majority of people are yelling at us. But you see this all the time with just this social media era in games where you have a vocal minority that's speaking up and developers are tailoring the game to them. And then the message coming out of them tailoring the game to that is, That's a success. Everything's great. Everything's perfect.
Yep.
Meanwhile, we're not hearing from the casual audience. Like most people buy their games, play them, and then either play the same thing for a year or move on. They don't go on Twitter and talk about it.
It's so interesting too, because it's very clear that Bungie developed Destiny 2 all the way through Warmind with a specific play style in mind, and it was geared toward the more casual player. And then when Curse of Osiris launched, they realized, oh shit, this isn't what the quote-unquote majority wants. So from that development time between Curse and Warmind into Forsaken, they flipped the script hard. And now they've started development on all these things. Well, now, at least in my mind, Black Armory and at least Joker's Wild, I think is what it's called, it's going to be still Forsaken.
Well, I mean,
we're not going to see a change in Destiny at all anymore, I don't think.
It sounds like that fourth one is very much the last one where it's all about like secrets and stuff.
Sure.
It's like, oh, remember the Whisper and how people really liked that? We're going to make a whole DLC like that.
Sure. I know people that still don't have Whisper.
Oh, I'm one of them.
Oh, yeah. Trey is one of them. And Trey was playing almost every day.
Again, another fucking time gatey thing.
Yep.
Which, going back to the Forge, that's another reason why I'm like, will I like this? Because I don't like how they're sectioning off content like that. It's cool because it means that fucking Datto can't get all 4 weapons in a week.
Sure.
But for me as a player, it's like, well, now I have to play every week, 4 weeks in a row.
Right. And what if let's say you do your research and the one you want is on week 2, but guess who's on vacation with his family in week 2? Well, sorry, buddy.
Or someone who has fucking finals coming up and
Yeah.
is running a D&D campaign and, is working. Like, sorry, I have maybe a couple days a week where I can play games.
Yep.
And Destiny is one of those games where I'm never going to be able to make progress unless I'm playing. It's just frustrating. I get so mad about it.
And it's also, I guess I was leading into my point. It's like, it's just not surprising because it's also Activision. And we've seen time and time again with BlizzCon, what the changes they made with WoW at the beginning of BFA, the changes in Destiny 2, the fact that Activision's earning call, they literally said Forsaken did not live up to the financial expectations we wanted. So the way we're going to fix this is we're going to add more microtransactions.
Yep.
More ways for players to spend money in game. It's not surprising that Bungie does this. It's not surprising that Activision's in this idea of, oh no, you know what? We understand that you don't want to get screwed, but you're still going to have to pay more money forever.
Well,
You've got to buy everything now.
But it's
because
just
that guarantees our money.
It's just hilarious though because they came out of this at the beginning of Forsaken, it was like, we can't charge people for the DLC anymore, and we're going to give away the free game on pretty much every platform except for Xbox, and we're really going to try to encourage the casual player to come in and play this because it wasn't being successful.
Yeah.
Now they have a $40 price tag on the future of this game on top
And
of the
it's so
$40 you already have
uncertain.
to spend.
Sure.
And that's going to section off their community even more.
Sure.
Like, and potentially they could make more money by selling individual DLC.
Sure. It's just so crazy that it's unbelievably crazy to me that 3 years ago we were semi-praising Activision and Bungie for what they were doing.
Yeah.
And fucking putting the whip to Ubisoft. And now look, it's like I don't know the
Well, I think it's because part of us thought that like Taken King was a learning moment for them.
Sure,
we
maybe.
didn't think that Destiny 2 was going to come out, and as much as we
Maybe.
liked it, it wasn't perfect.
Yeah, maybe. But now we've got, Ubisoft to, if you really sit down and look at it, they're not doing anything different when it comes to microtransactions. They're not. They're delivering single player content for free every week to their games, and then they're adding extremely optional microtransactions and DLCs. It's like Ubisoft is, technically the problem, but you look at them, it's like, man, they're doing it right.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
But they're not the problem, though. I think that like I don't think they're a problem at all because I think that at the end of the day, like I can buy the game,
Sure.
play through the game. There's
Sure.
enough shit for me to earn in the game.
And then there's more in the game for you if you enjoyed it.
And if I want to look like a badass weird assassin, with
Sure.
a holiday skin from Thanksgiving, I want to look like a turkey assassin.
Sure.
I can spend the $5 it takes to buy that costume.
Sure.
To me, like having those options available to a player but not forcing them to do it is one thing.
Sure.
But sectioning off your game specifically for people that have bought something continues to be a problem for Destiny.
Sure,
They haven't
yeah,
figured
no,
out.
that's true.
And they're, I think Bungie and Activision are going to regret the decisions they're making now once Anthem and Division 2 come out.
Sure.
Especially Division 2. Because Anthem, I don't know what EA is going to do.
No, but
you can't trust EA.
Sure.
But with Division 2, like,
And there's an entire year of free content.
yeah.
Yep. And it's all planned out ahead.
Yeah.
It's very transparent
Yeah.
so
and,
far.
And I'll tell you what, like, as a player, if I buy a $60 game, I'm more likely to spend money on microtransactions than I am if you're going to make me buy a $60 game and then $30 of DLC and then $40 of DLC and then another $40 of DLC.
Perfect. I mean, at least I am the epitome of that, right? The perfect case in point is I spent like $20 in Assassin's Creed Odyssey,
That game that you sold back.
a game that I sold back, and there is no end game, right? Once you beat the game, it's over.
done.
But I still spent $20 in that game, but I have yet to spend a cent inside a 4-year stint with Destiny.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me that
And I have because I'm stupid because I've been playing on 2 platforms.
Sure.
But, again, it's all dumb.
Don't buy Destiny, Justin.
Yeah.
I take back everything I
Yeah.
said 4 months ago.
Not even 4 months ago. This
Was
is
it not 4 months
this was
ago?
like last month.
Whatever. It was not last month. You shut your whore mouth.
On the brighter side of gaming news, Red Dead Redemption 2 Online's beta has started with players slowly being allowed access depending on what version of the game they bought and when they began playing it. Players who bought the Ultimate Edition have access today on Tuesday. Launch day players will have access on Wednesday. Players who played the game launch weekend will have access on Thursday. And all of the other players will have access on Friday. Rockstar has made it clear that this beta period is for testing rather than a demo, saying that it will, quote, help deal with the inevitable turbulence of launching any online experience of this size and scale, end quote. It also asks users of the community to, quote, report and fix problems, share ideas, and assist in shaping the future of the full online experience, end quote. Chris, you didn't really talk about games because I think this is the main thing that you probably wanted to talk about.
Sure.
Don't
I
let me
mean,
speak for you.
I think I had some work to get done today, but as I was rendering videos, I kept going back and forth. And you know what? It's I don't want to play this card, but I'm going to, in Justin's face, saying I was right about pretty much everything. Not everything, but they did. They did a fairly good job so far of taking that single player Rockstar Red Dead Redemption 2 experience and adding 32 people into a lobby. Did a pretty damn good job so far. It's definitely not. It's not like quality storytelling, right? We're not talking about like the actual Red Dead Redemption 2 story.
Those
like
cutscenes are pretty bad.
yeah, like the cutscenes you're watching in Red Dead Online are very, they're very heist-esque from GTA Online.
Yeah.
But the fact that there is a story to play through, like an actual linear story that you play through and you can play through with other people that has a beginning and an end and a possible continuation depending on what they decide to release with this. I can see the story continuing. I'm only like 25% through the story. 25%, by the way. That's how.
How many missions did you do?
2.
Oh,
So we're probably only talking about 8, maybe 10 missions worth of a story.
What level are you?
8.
Oh, that's not bad.
So that just kind of tells me also, like, if they continue that story, it's going to be rolled out in sections.
I fully expect them to do that because GTA did not have a continuous story, but every couple months they add in new missions.
Sure.
They add in
Yeah.
a new heist.
Yeah.
Like there are things to do from a narrative, one story, not great narrative
Yeah.
perspective.
Yeah.
So I would fully expect them to keep
Sure. And like I said, this one takes it maybe half a step further than GTA Online did with story. Like there are actual cutscenes where you're going through a linear story, rather than like I'm helping Gerard get more drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's an actual thing happening that you're a part of. But it's good, man. It's they did a really good job of taking that single player and adding 32 people into a lobby. I have yet to encounter really anything that is vastly different other than the fact that there is no gambling. There's no poker, there's no dominoes, there's no blackjack, which is
Sad.
it's a little sad, but at the same time, how do you get past the idea of people just buying more money and just, gambling more and more and more and more. I'm like 80% sure we'll see poker, blackjack, and dominoes in the future of this game.
I think you
I would
predicted
fully expect that. Yeah.
I think you predicted the way pretty well though, because you pointed out to me that there are two different kinds of currency. You have gold and then cash money. And you had said, like, I think one of these is going to be available for purchase,
Right.
and the other one is just going to be something that you can earn in game.
Right.
And I think that's how you do it. Is
Sure.
this is the currency that you're earning in game. This is what you use to gamble. You
Sure.
cannot use gold at all.
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Especially since, like, if it's anywhere near what gambling was in single player, you're not
addicting.
gambling. You're not, but you're not gambling a lot of money. It's
Yeah.
like you're gambling like
50 cents, $5.
50 cents to $5 at the most. And if you're using just your in-game currency that you have acquired, it's not a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal at all. But I think there would be a huge problem if the gold, which is what I think like shark cards are going to be, that if you can gamble that, then we're
Yeah.
borderline gambling, right? We are gambling basically. So I don't think they're going to go there, but it's disappointing that gambling's not in the game, because it would be really cool for all of us to log in one night and just play poker together
Yeah.
and shoot the shit. I think that would be a lot of fun. And there's not, like we've said, there's not a shit ton of things to do. There's a story, the linear story that you can follow. There's stranger missions that basically work like open world activities. So like you walk up to a stranger and they're like, "I need you to deliver this mail for me, son." Sure, no problem. You can totally tell these stranger missions are made for two people, because I had to go back and forth for this mail thing. So like, take,
It's like, really? I can't just take both of them?
like deliver this mail for me. And so you grab a bag, and there's still a bag on the floor. It's like, okay, well, I'll deliver this bag. So you're delivering the bag, and it's like, pick up the bag. It's like, fuck, I gotta go get the other one. So it's definitely made for multiplayer. But those missions, when you start the actual objective, everybody on the map is, or at least in your area, is told, hey, another posse is doing something. If you want to, go stop them. And if it's online. It's like GT Online, right? You're gonna run into that shit.
Yeah. Well, I was watching a lot of people play it just on like YouTube and stuff. They were streaming it.
The YubTubs.
Yeah, the YubTubs. And I don't know if maybe it's a byproduct of the fact that there's not a ton to do, but it seems like a lot more people interact with things like that. Whenever they get the alert, like,
Sure.
oh, go and grab the bag. It looked like a lot of people
Sure.
were trying to steal this bag.
Yeah,
and maybe
absolutely.
that's just because there's less to do.
Sure,
But
absolutely. And I think,
made it look more fun.
I think a lot of people that are playing this game right now are of course, the Ultimate Edition adopters of this game. So they're
Yeah.
really.
Chris is like, that person does the same horse as me.
Yeah.
He should. It's
Yeah.
the Ultimate Edition horse.
I think a lot of people are the hardcore Red Dead players, so they're trying to make as much money as they possibly can in a short amount
Before
of time.
everyone else can, yeah.
Exactly. And so I'm not. I'm just trying to fucking
Have fun.
survive. Yeah, survive. And have fun.
Survive.
Make sure my fucking horse doesn't die. But yeah, and I think a lot of things that we predicted in that little thing we did are true. Like there's horse insurance in case your horse dies. There's the clothing options are all. The clothing options that were available in single player, some of them made it to the multiplayer, but there's a lot more clothing options in the multiplayer.
Yeah, there's unique stuff that
There's-
isn't in the single
right.
player.
You can't have some of Arthur's clothes that you could get in single player and multiplayer. Like some of the pants, like there was a pair of pants that your player could have in the single player. I haven't been able to find them in multiplayer. I would really love to have them, but you just can't. And then there's free roam events, which are the equivalent to the GTA ones, where it's like steal a plane and fly upside down and see who can fly upside down the
Oh,
longest.
that's yeah.
Those are the purple free roam events that just pop up, and you get an invitation. You've been invited to this, and like I think there was one where it's kill the most animals in this amount of time. So they're fun. They're cool and they're neat. Hunting is 100% still a thing. The fishing is still a thing. I think fishing doesn't unlock till 14, which that alone is a little annoying. Like Trey was saying, it's like, man, there's a lot of shit's locked behind a level gate, which makes sense.
Especially too with the with hunting. So because a lot of the guns are locked behind.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So
You can't get a perfect pelt right now. You
exactly.
can't.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
I was watching Chris play, and some things like that I understand. But Chris was like, he was looking through the clothing options. Man, there was like he found this really cool leather duster. It
Yeah.
was really awesome. It's locked at level 96.
Yeah.
And I understand like guns and all that. I
Sure.
understand like certain activities maybe being locked, like roll it out slowly over time. But man, like the customization options, I don't remember that being a huge issue in GTA Online. I think part of the reason they got around it because things were capped. But I think part of the way that they got around it was just the fact that like there were so many options, and you're so much more limited just kind of based off the setting and all the amount of detail that goes into each individual item.
And even
that's
then,
so annoying.
If I'm remembering correctly, I don't think any of the clothing options in GTA were ever locked.
Yeah, they
behind.
were.
They
Oh, yeah,
were.
they
They
were.
were,
100% were.
but
Clothing
by
weren't?
Oh, yeah.
I know like car mods were
No,
because it
clothing-
actually
no,
affected the
clothing
car.
was too.
clothing was, but the thing is that all the free update clothes weren't level capped.
Right.
So as the
okay.
game went on, there were so many options.
If
just
you go-
from the
if you go to-
DLC
if
that
you go to
That's
your-
true.
needed
I,
to
re-
buy.
I,
If
I
you
remember
go-
getting alerts all the time in the right hand corner,
Yeah, but
like,
if
"Oh,
you
you
go-
unlocked blue T-shirt
If
number
you go
70."
to your if
Yeah.
you go to your PC game right now, where we're all like level 20 something, go to the clothing store and actually start scrolling. You'll see a shit ton of stuff locked behind a level cap.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And so the level cap, I get it. It does make sense. And it will get better the more free updates that come out where they add more clothes and they add more like, here's how you look like Dutch or here's how you look like Arthur.
Yeah.
All that's going to come at some point in time. But again, this is the day one of a beta for this, right? Rockstar did also say, it wasn't on here, that it's a possibility that all beta progress could be reset.
I'm actually I'm okay with that
I am
because I
too.
think that I was watching you play the beta. First thing that stood out to me that I was immediately impressed by was the fact that like when you load into GTA Online, the graphics comparison between the two modes is just straight up apparent. It kind of looks like you're looking at GTA's world through like a screen door,
Or like
almost.
you're looking at it on medium settings on a PC.
Yeah. But with Red Dead Online, the first thing I noticed when you loaded in was like, hey, this looks like the single player mode. It's just the frame rate's not
Yeah.
always great.
Yeah, when you start to see players around you that aren't in an instance-based thing, when you see a player in the open world, you see a frame rate dip because it's trying to load what they look like and all this other shit.
Yeah. But it's great that it looks pretty because that gives you a starting point.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
You
absolutely.
can improve from there. But the second thing that I noticed was that like it really did kind of feel like a beta.
Oh, yeah.
There are a lot of awesome ideas there. There's a lot of things that they started doing that are really, really cool. But it doesn't seem like it's entirely fully fleshed
Yeah,
out.
it's definitely. I got that after playing it a little bit longer. You went to go lay down and do the notes and stuff like that. I finished that video and I got a good like hour and a half to 2 hours of just sitting down and playing. It definitely felt like it's not fully fleshed out yet. But again, it is a beta. I think they even made that very apparent in the news article or the press release that came out today saying, "Hey, this is nowhere near by any chance the final version of what this is going to be when we launch it, whenever that's going to be." But you know, that all being said, if you can get a guy I watch on YouTube made a great fucking analogy with this. Not an analogy, but he made a fucking great point. And I'm about to say it. It's like when the four of us log into this game together, it's going to be a shit ton of fun.
Yeah.
We're just going to have a shit ton of fun in this game. Because it's like, hey, so the challenges in single player, they're pretty much all there, except multiply them by like 100. There's
that's
so
cool.
many challenges
I was
to do
wondering
in this
about
game.
that. I
So
think-
like the hunting challenge is like kill 10 animals, and then it's like kill 50 animals. But if you go to the actual hunting challenges page, there's more than just that. There's like kill 100 animals with a rolling block cart.
Are
And
they
then-
locked?
yeah, well, no, everything
you're
you
making
do,
progress all the time.
everything you do
Perfect.
progresses
Yep.
through all these. So like the sharpshooter challenges, I think there's like 121 total sharpshooter challenges in this game. So there's always something to do. So we log in, it's like, hey, what do you guys want to do today? It's like, I'm actually like 50 animals away from my hunting challenge. Cool, let's all just go fucking hunt. Or let's just all go to a stream and fish for an hour and shoot the shit. Like,
It's just a genocide of deer.
yeah,
Let's go.
100%. And it's super fun, man. It's doing the multiplayer stuff is a shit ton of fun. Doing the single player stories and queuing up for matchmaking, man, it's a shit ton of fun. Doing these missions with other people, like Red Dead with other people, is so fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about kind of the quote unquote lack of customization. every time I've match made, which is maybe 5 times, I've looked completely different than everybody else, which is super cool and super surprising. But it's all like really cool when you finally get into that screen and you see all 4 players and you're like, that's fucking cool, man. That's really fucking cool.
How do your teeth look? That's the real
Oh my
question.
God.
Oh, they're
It's-
yellow. Oh, they're real yellow. I've got them all, but they're yellow.
Oh, so you
It's-
kept, but you kept the chompers.
Oh yeah, I kept the chompers. Yeah, but dude, some of those teeth options are bad.
Yeah,
oh
the-
my
the-
god,
like the gums, like the
yeah,
gummer or
dude,
something.
holy
Like, oh.
shit.
So I have to ask. I'm just so excited about this because I don't even know if you know about this. Although you might, you're a smart guy.
Who
Have you
me?
tried
or
I was
Justin?
like, who are you talking?
Who do you think I'm
Oh,
talking
okay, I
about?
guess you're talking to me.
Have you tried the Battle Royale mode?
No, I have not yet.
I had no idea. I saw this news as I was
I
getting
have
news together, and I
not
was like,
tried
"What
it
the
yet.
fuck?"
Yep, with bows and arrows.
With bows
Yeah.
and arrows
And
and
throwing
throwing
knives.
knives. And,
That's
and
so
it
cool.
gradually gets smaller and smaller. It's like, it's basically the Hunger Games.
Well, because
I haven't tried it yet. It sounds like fun.
The
watched-
map is so perfect for
Yeah.
that.
Oh, 100%.
You just cordon off an area of the map and drop it in. And I'm not saying it's going to be good. I'm not saying it's going to
No, but it's- it might be fun.
But yeah, it just sounds like stupid fun.
Yeah. And like I said, leveling, I'm at level 8. I've only got, I think, like total hours played, probably 3.5. So 3.5 hours for 8 levels. That's not bad.
It seems pretty
Yeah,
consistent.
it's not bad at all.
People who were live streaming it probably played about that same, and they were getting to around that same level.
Yeah, so I
it's
don't-
not
I
like you
don't-
weren't doing something.
Yeah, I don't
to
think
level
that,
up.
I don't think the leveling process is going to be too bad. Everything you do gives you XP, albeit maybe a little. Like I killed a fucking cougar. I got like 16 XP for it. So like that's really cool. If you really want to, you can just go genocide an entire forest and possibly level up. Like that's really cool. I haven't, like I said, I haven't got a chance to fish yet, but I would assume every time you grab a fish, it's probably a little bit of XP.
Seems like it's very hard to get money from what it looks like.
I don't think so. I don't think it is hard to get money because all it is just go do a mission and you walk away with like 20 to 30 bucks.
He had.
Oh, see,
he
I,
had
I saw
like-
people getting like 50 cents. They might have not been
no,
doing
no,
the right
I was doing
ones.
like 20 or 30. I was getting like
Well,
20 or 30
I
bucks
thought
for the
that
story
too.
missions.
I saw him do the first like actual story mission, and he had $18.
Mm-hmm.
And then at one point, like at the end of the mission, it's like you got $6.50.
Yeah, and that kind of pops up on the side.
And then he got out and he was like, "Oh, I have $45."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wait, I thought you only got $6."
Okay.
So I think it's like because at the end of GTA,
It's like accruing it or something like over
at
time.
the end of GTA
Something.
Online's missions, like depending on how you performed, you got a cash bonus.
Yeah.
So I think it shows you just the base amount without the
Possibly.
cash bonuses.
that makes sense.
Another just super cool thing is the honor systems there. I haven't experienced yet how it's affecting the online world, but it's very clear that when you logged in and they talk about this is what you do. If you do this, you lose honor. You do this, you gain honor. It's very clear in the little tooltips that your honor will affect how you interact with Red Dead Online.
One of the ways is the stranger missions. According
Oh.
to some reading that I did while I was getting the news together, is that the offers that you get from the strangers depend on your
Oh.
honor. So if you're
That's
dishonorable,
awesome.
it might be like, "Hey, go take this mail." If you're,
That's fucking cool.
I'm sorry. If you're honorable, it might be like, "Go take this mail."
Go steal this
Dishonorable,
mail.
It'll be like, "Go break this person out of prison."
Oh, that's fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. I'd like to see how that interacts with, like, let's say he's low honor, I'm high honor, and we go try to do the same mission. How that,
Interesting.
how that
I
would
would
work.
assume whoever picked it up.
Maybe.
Probably.
But that also would be a really cool way where, like, if Justin's like, I had a really bad week. I went through. I killed an entire town.
Yeah.
My honors
It's
tanked.
a good way to get it up.
It's a good way to
Sure.
get it up.
Yeah.
There's also like guys in the world that I stumbled upon.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you pay, I think gold, which is going to be that actual real cash currency,
The nuggets or
The
whatever.
nuggets, you
Yeah.
can earn nuggets in game. I have been earning nuggets in game, but if you pay that certain amount, I think it's like 4 gold. He'll tip it wherever your honor's at. He'll tip it evenly to the other side.
Okay.
So if you're like full bad and you just really want to maybe posse up with a good game, pay that money, it's all the way over, which is pretty
Something
sweet.
really cool was kind of like the Flashpoint thing.
Oh yeah, I
and
was
the
about to
story
get to
mission.
that too. Yeah, so we're at the end of every story, as it really is. I went back and thought every story mission that I've played so far, you're match made with 4 people, and at the end of the missions, there's a morality choice. Either you do the good thing or you do the bad thing, and everybody chooses honor or bad honor. So far, everybody that I've played with is all straight honor. Nobody's ever picked a bad thing, and bads, not one has overwritten another. Everybody's done the same thing. So I don't know if it's like SWTOR, where it's like even if you choose bad, but
Rolls the dice kind
even
of
if
thing.
you choose bad but good wins, do you get the bad points? I don't know. I would assume that's how it's going to work.
I would hope so because I feel like if that's really what you want to do, like
Sure. Yeah, yeah. But it's cool because it like that that choice is there, right? It's 4 people, and it's like that. It's that moment they give you 30 seconds to decide: are you going to kill this? Are you going to kill this guy that you just took down his entire gang, or are you going to let him go? What are you going to do? Are you going to be honorable, or are you just going to flat out shoot the guy in the head? It's really cool, man. I think they did a really good job. It's got a lot of promise. I think it's got more promise in GTA Online.
Well, one kind of small mechanic that they changed from GTA that I like is that you can actually select where you kind of spawn into the map.
Yeah.
You
You can do that in GTA Online as well.
No, but I think what he's
No.
talking about is that, remember those things we were talking
Like
about?
free roam and then like
if I
location.
chose West Elizabeth, it can
okay.
just spawn me into West. I didn't know what that did. We were thinking, like, did it just section off West Elizabeth in a own little private server
gotcha.
of West
No,
Elizabeth?
It just that's where you start your free roam.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of nice because sometimes you'd hop into GTA and you're like, well, I'm up in Mount Chiliad.
Yeah, I need to fucking
I'll
be
see you
all
guys
the way
in
south.
you know 10
yeah,
minutes.
Yeah, sure. That's
Well,
actually pretty good.
I think to a certain degree, though, you have to do that with Red Dead. Like Chris was running, and his character literally looks like the Flash.
Flash.
Like just
He's fast.
But
And your stamina wears down not as fast as single player.
but I was thinking about it. A lot of this was like me complaining about something and then thinking about it and realizing why it was that way. But I was sitting there complaining about it, and I was like, you know what? But that makes sense though, because if you're stuck in the wild and someone kills your horse, you can't run at Arthur speed.
Yep.
You just can't.
Yep.
It would take you hours to fucking get
That's
through
pretty
a
good,
road.
actually. Yeah, it's very true.
So certain things make sense. It just looks a little silly.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that.
Surprisingly, Deadeye's in there. I didn't think they were going to keep Deadeye, but they worked Deadeye differently. So you have this ability system in this game where every 5, 10, 25, and level 50, you get a new ability card. These ability cards work toward whatever build of a character that you want to make. But your first ability card you get at level 5 is your Deadeye card. And depending on which Deadeye card you use, your Deadeye does something different, i.e. once you activate Deadeye, you and your posse regain health as long as your Deadeye is active. But if you're hit with a bullet, your Deadeye, it goes away. It goes away. Or another one is as your Deadeye is active, you do more damage. You and your posse do more damage. And then the one I picked is as when your Deadeye is active, you can still paint targets.
Okay, that's the one I saw people using.
Yeah, I really like that one. But at the same time, I really think the one where you Deadeye and you can still do more damage, I think that would be really cool if you're like, if there's a mission and you have a Maxim gun and you're supposed to be mowing down people, just fucking Deadeye and just mow them down even quicker. You know
Or
what I mean?
if someone else is on the gun and
Yeah,
you're sitting
and
there,
you
like,
need to
because
do
it
more
benefits the
damage.
whole
Yeah,
party.
exactly.
Just a nice buff for the
Super,
posse.
super cool way they did Deadeye to make it work in game. It does not slow down time, and it's way better than Fallout 76 did their VAT shit.
Well, speaking
Yeah,
of,
I was gonna say that's
Yeah.
that's the main comparison,
Yeah.
and it works so much better than that.
Speaking of Fallout 76, I kind of wanted to touch on this because I think it's a really good comparison. But like, Red Dead Redemption in its own right, online is its own game. I mean, it's very much adapting the single player game into a multiplayer thing, and they're almost separate products with the amount of stuff that you can do, and even just now starting. Whereas Fallout 76 is $60 full game, multiplayer version of Fallout. Is it? As someone who likes both of these things, right? Like you love Red Dead, second favorite game of all time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Fallout 4, while not on your favorite games of all time, probably one of the
up
games that
there,
you put
sure.
the most
Yeah.
time in this
Oh, yeah.
this thing. Is it disappointing for you as a fan of both of these to see like one company kind of seem to be getting it right and the other one seems to be fucking up pretty significantly?
Yeah, I think maybe disappointing is a good word. Not unexpected is a better word because this is foray number 4 for Rockstar into the online world of something,
Yeah.
and they've nailed it. They're nailing it because they've got 4 games under their belt across. GTA 4 was what, 10 years ago, maybe longer.
I think longer. I'll look it up while you talk.
They've got that much time under their belts and 4 games to really understand this is what players are looking for. BT Dub, the one thing I am a little perturbed at, there's no passive mode. So you're consistently always in danger. A little perturbed at that.
Exactly 10 years.
10 years. Just a little bit perturbed at that, but
I saw a lot of people because you can lasso people online.
you can lasso people
hog
and
tie
like,
them.
even if you're in a town, they can just fucking flat out just kill. I'm a little. That's a little
shotgun
annoying.
is like a one-hit kill,
It's a little annoying, but I'll get over it.
but it's real.
Yeah, I'll get over it. But it's not unexpected that this is Bethesda's first ever foray into multiplayer, and they fucked it up. Like
Yeah.
it sucks. It really really sucks. But it's just unexpected and it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It really sucks. But it's okay because there was a small part of me that was on Justin's end where it's like, man, what if there's like 1% of me was like, man, what if Red Dead really does suck? I don't
Didn't
want.
think it was gonna suck.
It
but
wasn't going to be as good as it's
Right.
turning out to be, and it's like, man, I don't think I have the gumption to want to really play Destiny anymore. I don't have that drive to play Destiny
Yeah.
anymore. Man, I was like, man, Red Dead needs to be good because I don't know if I want to wait till February in Anthem and March in Division to
won't
have
be.
something to play.
Kingdom Hearts comes out in January.
Well, I mean, multiplayer wise
Yeah.
with friends.
But this is crazy because I was thinking about this the other day too. With how excited you were about Fallout 76 being like perfect for you.
Sure.
And then now here it is and
I
it's
still,
like you
I
just,
still think if Whitney and I got copies of this game, we would have a shit ton of fun in it. I am not disputing the fact that if I have a copy of this game and Whitney has one as well, or a friend of mine has a good copy of this game, we'll have a shit ton of fun playing Fallout 76.
I just like jump back to E3. I would picture how you are right now with Red Dead, especially like Red Dead
Sure, of
Online and
course.
everything. I would picture this with Fallout 76.
Of course. And I would be if
Yeah.
this game didn't come out and wasn't just this giant shit show that it is. Even with update fixes that they're rolling out, they're just breaking the game even further than it already is. And it's like, but again, if I had copies of this game, if I had a copy of it and Whitney had a copy of it, I guarantee you she and I would have a shit ton of fun in Fallout 76 despite its fact because again, like Fallout 76 is made for me and her. All she did in Fallout was explore. All I do in Fallout is explore. That's what that game is for. It's just a pile of shit right now, so it's really hard to play.
Do you think that you would be more? Do you think you'd want to play Fallout 76 more had you not played the beta already?
Yes, 100%.
Do you think that kind of like?
Oh yeah.
Like it basically filled the void and it's like
Sure,
okay, yeah, I know what
100%.
this
I
is.
also would, but I also wasn't expecting to love Red Dead Redemption 2 as much as I have.
Yeah.
I wasn't. Like Red Dead Redemption 1's amazing, but I don't. It wasn't in my top 5. And Red Dead 2 has become my second favorite game of all time. And it is my second favorite game of all time, but I fully commit to the idea that it is the greatest game ever made up until now. And I just didn't expect that. I didn't expect to have that opinion. So I think that coupled with playing the beta and then seeing everything that happened with Fallout 76, it's like, yeah, I don't have a copy of Fallout 76 like I thought I was going to, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You were so ready to get the helmet
We
edition.
found, we found it. Like we
Yeah.
found one in San Marcos,
I bet because
and it's the process has started to try to get it because
Oh, really?
we still
You
want
still
it.
want it?
We still love Fallout. I'm not. This doesn't make me not love Fallout. So anytime I can get a replica of a helmet and little minifigure, anything Fallout we'll take. Dude, we're always buying Fallout Pops. We're buying Fallout Funko boxes. We love Fallout, but we're just not playing their latest game because it's not good, and that's okay. Doesn't mean we're not fans of Fallout. Yeah. But anyway, Red Dead Online, it's turning out to be real good, real good. So there's one other thing. Oh no, I said the passive thing.
Yeah.
That's all. I think we pretty much covered everything. It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
be on the lookout for us to stream that
Yeah,
sometime
absolutely.
soon, hopefully.
We only have 2 quick saves. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Were
you're
you
good.
gonna say something? We only have 2 quick saves today. First one's more of a warning. Copies of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate have been leaking online, so if you're trying to avoid spoilers, keep
I don't
vigilant.
understand. What do you mean they've been leaking online?
People have been able to purchase them online, like through like eBay or a site like that.
Oh, so they don't have the game.
Oh, so it's not like
they
a
don't have the
pirate.
game yet. Oh, they do have the game already.
People are getting the game and have the game that they're purchasing it online.
Interesting.
Most likely, what happened was fucking some Target, Walmart, GameStop
Sure,
employee took
yeah,
a
yeah.
couple copies and sold them on eBay.
And we're 10 days away.
Something
launch?
like that. Yeah,
okay.
it comes out on the
The
7th.
7th, yeah, so we're about 10 days away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last up, Fox has trademarked Alien Blackout for use in video games. This trademark coincides with a Game Awards tweet showing Hideo Kojima posing next to alien props. Seems as though this new title may be announced at the Game Awards, though no official word has confirmed this theory.
Does that mean Hideo Kojima is going to be making an Aliens game?
I
Does
hope
that
he would
mean my-
finish his own fucking game.
Yeah, does that mean my prediction of Death Stranding never coming out is actually going to come true?
I
Maybe
don't
Death-
think that's what it means.
It's not out of the question that Death Stranding is
Is
an alien
Aliens
game.
Yeah.
Never saw Prometheus being an alien thing. Even throughout the entire movie up until the end, I had no clue it was an alien thing.
Really?
No clue. Did not.
You just didn't know about it going into it. That it
I had
was-
no idea.
Oh.
And they the entire movie, I just did.
They skirt around
They
it.
skirt around it. They just it never was a thing that popped into my head because it wasn't in my head. I think if I went into watching Prometheus with like, this has something to do with Alien, of course you would have got it. But literally, Alien was the last thing in my head watching Prometheus. So when the end happened, I was like, oh, holy shit, it's a fucking alien! Like it's crazy.
Is this the same
Or a
movie?
xenomorph or whatever the fuck they're called.
It is a xenomorph.
Yeah.
I just want to say, we have MPDs today, and I had them ready to go. But the Twitter app, if you so much as like rub your screen, it closes everything down. And
Why you rubbing your screen, man?
it's and though I love Matt Piscatella, first of all, it's very annoying that he announces this all on Twitter instead of just like making like a blog post.
Oh,
or
he does
something.
it like he does
Yeah,
a tweet like
post,
160
like a tweet.
things and another 160, and that's annoying.
Yep. But he also tweets all the time. He basically went out. I love you, Matt Piscatella. I know you're listening, so I don't want you to think that I'm criticizing you. But he went out on Black Friday and basically just went to stores to see how much of something had sold. He would go to like GameStop and be like, they don't have any more of the Spider-Man PS4s. Neither does Walmart. This is the second GameStop I've been to, and they don't have the Mario Kart Switch. It's crazy to me that like that's
Who
what
is
he
this
did for his
guy?
Black Friday. Matt Piscatella.
That okay?
He's the guy that always
Thank you.
gets quoted in the MPD stuff.
No. Who is this guy? What does he do?
Every
This-
time that there's an MPD report, he's the one that like kind of ships it out to the media. and
That's what
the
he's
one
paid to do.
He's the one that's all. He works for the MPD group, so he's
Thank you.
collecting market research.
Okay, so when he's going out to Walmart and he's doing his job. He's not just randomly going to Walmart and being like, "Oh, I don't know."
It doesn't seem like that though, because I'm sorry, but like it doesn't matter if you live in fucking New York City. Your section of stores is not a good. It's not a good data point for how things are doing across the country.
I think his thing on the Spider-Man thing is 100% true. We went to 3 GameStops on Black Friday and none of them had Spider-Man PS4s.
Sure, yes,
Or Switches,
that's not
for that
surprise.
matter.
Sure. I think that it probably it represents a trend, but like as someone who collects market research, I don't think that that's a reliable source of data. I think he just loves fucking doing it, especially when you look at his Twitter and it's just stuff like this all the time. Vamp for me while I see if this is right.
Well, I think that sale was still going on for like Cyber Monday as well.
I have no idea.
So
It was also early.
what was?
I know the Spider-Man PS4 was, and I think the Switch might have been too. Where like some places had sold out by Monday,
Oh, okay.
leading up to Black Friday.
So
Oh, wow. Okay.
So Destiny has a sniper rifle in the Black Armory that if you hold down the reload button, it consumes the entire magazine, 4 shots, and puts them all into 1 shot.
So it does 4 times the damage of a regular shot.
It's pretty good, actually.
That's kind of cool.
It's kind of
It's
neat.
interesting.
They said it's a body shot kill in PvP.
All right, here we go.
It's pretty interesting.
Top 10 best-selling games for October 2018. Number 10, WWE 2K19.
Yeah, I
Nice.
contributed to that. I didn't. I bought it like a week ago, but still sweet.
Number 9, Madden NFL 19. Number 8, Marvel's Spider-Man. Number 7, FIFA 19.
Yeah, I respect soccer more than I do football. I respect it more than I do football.
Number 6, Soul Calibur 6. Number 5, Super Mario Party. So I'm really surprised that that's in the MPDs at all.
Are you?
Yeah, I don't feel like Mario Party games do that well.
Yeah, but
I think they do. I
It's
think
the-
they
it's
think they sell
the-
really well when they come out and then
it's
just are gone.
When's the last time that you've like heard anyone talk about a Mario Party
well, hold
game?
on,
in,
hold
like,
on,
a
hold on.
significant
So
way?
In a
literally,
significant way, probably.
I
GameCube?
don't think it has anything to do with the fact that it's Mario Party. I think it has to do with the fact that it's Mario and it's a Switch title. Because there has been a total of Mario. What's the Mario game?
Super Mario Odyssey,
There you go.
Breath of the Wild,
Mario
Arms,
Kart.
Splatoon 2, Mario Kart.
I'm thinking no.
Oh,
I'm
just
sorry,
Mario properties?
Just Mario. The big properties.
Okay.
Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart,
Aces.
Zelda. Huh?
Oh wait.
Big Nintendo properties.
Sorry, I thought you were just talking about Mario again.
Yeah, Superstar Aces, which was also in the NPDs at 1 month. That's my point being is the fact that there's only been like less than 10 big party Nintendo titles on the Switch. Sure.
You're right. I think it's just surprising to me that like the hunger for Nintendo titles on the Switch is so voracious that it can raise Mario Party out of the depths that
It's because they're releasing fucking shit like shovelware that's on the fucking eShop. If you go look at the eShop, dear God, it's like looking at the fucking Wii section of GameStop 4 years ago.
I don't remember who it was.
It's fucking terrible, man.
I saw someone on Twitter post a screen capture of it. It was basically a reskin of Mario.
And they're selling it for $40.
It was like $19.99 or something ridiculous.
It's just oh my God, so bad.
Number 4, NBA 2K19.
What was number 5? Oh, Mario Party was. Yep, sorry.
Number 3, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This I was actually surprised by this. Number 2 is Red Dead Redemption 2. Number 1 is Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Oh, I am not surprised by that at all.
I'm a little surprised by that, although it makes sense because it just seems weird to me that we know that Red Dead over its first weekend sold 17 million units,
copies,
17.5 million units, and that's not to shelves, that's to customers.
Yep.
So it's weird for me to think
that also includes digital.
That also includes digital.
Yep.
It's weird for me to think that Black Ops 4, that's still this far out, that it sold that much. But also, to be fair, Black Ops had almost an entire 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's only physical copies.
5 days. No, it's physical and digital.
Oh, so they do PS4 digital now too? PS4 and Xbox is digital on NPDs now?
Certain titles don't have digital sales, but none of these were marked for
They all have digital sales.
So these all had digital sales
okay.
included. But the thing that Red Dead was only on the market for 5 days for October.
Yep.
So I guess it's not weird, but it's still surprising, I guess.
I
don't think I would have predicted that.
See, I was under the assumption that NPDs were still mainly physical, and in no way, shape, or form would I have expected physical Red Dead to outsell physical Call of Duty. That's just not the game. That's not the audience for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think a lot of the core audience for Red Dead Redemption bought that thing digital, minus me, who got the fucking ultimate shit. But I think most gamers got Red Dead digital, but most of the people that bought Call of Duty went out and got that disc because that's what they do, right? That's their one game for the year, so of course they're just going to go get it. They also might live in a rural part of the area that doesn't have internet, or they're part of a family that can't afford internet. You know what I mean?
Why would they get Black Ops 4 if they don't have internet?
Oh, good call. No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. I didn't think about that. But the biggest thing is Trey's right.
It's the time thing. That's what
Black Ops was on the market a lot longer than Red Dead was for this.
Yeah. And Black Ops, I'm not going to say that that's like a surefire bet, but like if you're just a casual gamer, like it's Call of Duty, it's Black Ops, you know what you're getting. Red Dead, if you didn't play the first Red Dead Redemption, then you might not have been keen on Red Dead 2.
No, I'm not sure about that because it's weird because there's a lot of people that don't like Red Dead Redemption 2. I still think this community's out of the 17 million people that bought Red Dead in October, I still think it's split 50-50. There's only 50% of the people that really love this game. The others expected Red Dead 1, and that's not what this game is. It's not an action-packed fucking guns blazing every 5 minutes type missions. Like it is a slow ass burn game, and a lot of people don't like that.
I had a friend on Facebook who posted a status talking about how they fell asleep like twice while they were playing Red Dead. And all these things, and I was baffled by.
I think that when you look at the reach of GTA or just GTA 5 in general, I think that even if a small portion of that market is convinced to buy Red Dead Redemption because of Rockstar,
sure,
I think that's still a pretty significant number. And I would guess, I don't know, I feel fairly confident and comfortable in saying that I think that if they had been on the market for the same amount of time, if they had launched on the same day, that Red Dead would have outsold it.
Oh, I 100% agree.
I think that I really think in November Red Dead will probably be number one.
100% agree.
I think the reason why Call of Duty looks so fancy compared to it is that you have the fact that it had a battle royale mode, which a lot of people bought specifically for that.
So does Red Dead.
But no one knew about that.
We did. Yeah, we did. We knew Rockstar was putting a battle royale in it.
I think it was rumored.
It's heavily rumored.
Yeah, but I
Also
don't. I was
about.
surprised. I had no idea today. Even following it, I had no idea today that when I saw it today, I was like, "Has a battle royale mode?" I think a lot of people bought it for that, and I also think I don't know. I mean, Call of Duty just always does well.
Yeah, I mean, Call of Duty is never going to not do well. I just think, like, to Justin's point, is like, despite the fact that this game has sold this million copies and it's critically acclaimed, I still think that portion of the audience that are playing Red Dead 2 because they played GTA 5, that's that portion that's disappointed. That's the portion that expected, because let's be honest, in freaking Red Dead Redemption, the first thing you do is go get shot in the chest, and the second thing you do is go shoot more dudes, and then go shoot rabbits, and then you go shoot this and shoot that and shoot this and shoot that. After the fucking epilogue, which is the intro chapter, which is 4 hours long, where you shoot maybe 3 guys total. The first mission is you taking Uncle and the 3 girls to Valentine, and then the mission's over. It's like, that's Red Dead Redemption 2, and I think a lot of people that expected boom, 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 fuck you, I'm a cowboy, that's not this game.
I think the thing that they wanted, though, to be fair, I think those players were looking for something more like GTA Online.
Sure,
and I think
course.
that those people that are disappointed with what they got from the single player are now going to be satiated come Friday.
Maybe.
Like I think a lot of those people, if their friends are jumping in and they're all playing together.
Yeah, maybe, but there's no flying horses, and your wagon doesn't turn into the Lamborghini. So maybe not.
You can throw dynamite on someone and blow up their horse.
That's true.
And I know a handful of people who've been waiting for the online to come out, so they're planning on getting it this week.
So this number keeps being thrown out, and I just want to say, just up front before I report this number is not as impressive as everyone thinks it is. For 2 reasons that we've already talked about. Across all categories, spending on video games was up 73% year over year to $1.5 billion, with every category seeing growth. It's the highest total spend the NPD Group has seen in October since it began tracking in 1995. Of course, because usually Call of Duty comes out in November, and it's not very often that we get a Call of Duty and a Rockstar game in the same exact month. And like I would say most of the big titles for the fall come out in November. November is when you see like the most impressive sales because people are leading it up for Black Friday.
And you said they're comparing to last November?
Yeah. But also, this is the highest sales November has seen since 1995.
Well, go look at what came out last November.
Sure. Someone
Vamp.
Where are you going with this?
Vamp. Nothing came out last November. Literally nothing came out last year. We talked about this all last year, that it was really cool that all the huge games were spread out throughout the entire year.
Should I look up
Call
October?
of Duty World War II?
Should I look up October? Because it's saying October, not
whichever.
November.
I don't care. Whichever one we were just talking about. I don't listen to things, so you have to fill in the blanks for me.
Well, I just want to double check because you said November and
Sure, because I thought
which one were they comparing
Forza
it to?
7, Mario.
I said November because we're in November. That's what it means to me. I have no idea.
The
what
NPDs are from October, so I'll pull up October.
Sure, I don't know any of that.
October.
Forza Motorsport 7, Mario and Luigi. Why would you do that? Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, Middle Earth Shadow of War, The Evil Within 2, Fire Emblem Warriors. What? Nope, that's not right. I mean, those other games are right, but that's not right.
Okay.
Oh no, that is right. That's the fucking open field legend, like the Zelda Hyrule Warriors game that came out last year.
No, Fire, yeah.
I totally forgot that was a thing. Those are some of the titles.
Those are probably the biggest titles that came out last October.
Right.
So again, to your point, the fact that it's up 75% over last year, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. We got a fucking Call of Duty and a Rockstar game in October. Compared to that shit, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything else that's kind of big. There's a shit ton of games that came out last year. This one website like literally lists out every day that stuff came out.
Sure.
Within like the first 5 days, there's like 50 titles.
Sure, but again,
Or actually more than that, like 100.
But again, like the biggest games of 2017 were spread out throughout the entirety of the year.
Yeah. But
where
that also did say that was the biggest spike since, what, 95?
I mean,
still not. That's because
well,
there's not.
no, I mean, it's
there
because
literally
it's
hasn't
the
like
two
again,
huge
even
games same
further
time.
to Trey's point, there hasn't been a year where Rockstar and a Call of Duty game came out in the same month.
and if there was a year, I would guess it happened in November.
Well, because no, but there hasn't, because GTA 5 was in September. Red Dead Redemption, the original, was May, and then GTA 5, which we've gone back 10 years, or I'm sorry, 4, we've gone back 10 years already, was something like June or July or maybe even August.
Well, and just
Rockstar games don't come out in November.
But in general, though, I don't think October is usually a place where like strong games are at. I think that you usually see like
Sure.
September kind of being a strong month. October is usually when kind of like the niche stuff comes out, and then November is when the heavy hitters hit.
Sure.
And that's where you see your Call of Duties and your Skyrims.
Except
and,
this year.
yeah.
This year it's just October.
But it was a smart move. I think that
Sure.
you know Activision very much knew that Red Dead was coming out end of October, beginning of November, and they're like, we cannot compete with that, so we need to get out as early as we can.
Yep.
So that everyone is throwing that number around like it's like some celebration of the video game industry. I don't think it is. It's cool.
It's just numbers.
Numbers mean a lot.
Yeah, numbers can mean a lot, but in
No,
this
but I
case-
mean, it's like it makes sense. Like,
I'm sure no one's surprised to know that Sony was again in charge this month with PS4 standing as the best-selling hardware platform for October and keeping it firmly in its position as the best-selling console for 2018 so far.
next year it'll be Switch. Next month it'll be Switch.
Actually, I think it's still going to be PS4.
You think because of the Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Possibly.
I think also because of the Red Dead. Not the bundle, but
but just Red Dead in general.
Yeah.
Possibly.
That's not all, though. PS4 sales in October reached an all-time platform high in October, and unit sales reached the highest number of any PlayStation hardware in October since the PlayStation 2 in 2002.
Which is what?
I don't know. They don't provide the number. Sorry.
It's just dumb.
Yeah.
We're approaching 90 million PlayStation units sold. I'd like to know when the fuck we're gonna get there.
Oh, I mean, we'll know by the end of this quarter.
Yeah, sure.
well, you'll know when you get there.
October 1. Xbox One sales were also up, which combined with PlayStation sales and offset somewhat by declines on other platforms, saw overall hardware spending up 26% year over year to $300 million. Anything else interesting on here? Call of Duty Black Ops launch month dollar sales represented the 8th highest ever since NPD Group began tracking in 1995.
Wow, that's pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Red Dead's gonna blow that out of the fucking water.
This naturally made it the best-selling game of the year and the second best-selling game over the last 12 months, being only by its predecessor, Call of Duty World War II.
You said it's the second best-selling game of the year so far, or the first selling?
It is the best
first.
of 2018, the second best of the last 12 months.
Oh, okay, so best of 2018. Man, really?
I mean,
Is that a surprise?
I don't think this has been like a super big year for video games.
I understand, but Red Dead Redemption 2 surpassed any entertainment media in 5 days.
Again, it's 3 weeks of tracking sales versus 5 days.
I understand that, but even so, you're telling me Call of Duty's made more than $700 and something million in 3 weeks?
Probably.
I guess so.
It's crazy to me. That is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because it's Call of Duty. Like, I don't know, that one's a little surprising. I was expecting Red Dead Redemption to be like, Red Dead Redemption's already the best selling game of 2018.
I think it will. I think that'll happen come November.
I'm just surprised it didn't happen in the 5 days where they broke every fucking entertainment record out there.
Well, but I mean, Call of Duty. You said it earlier though. Call of Duty always sells well. So
And also, it has the PC market where.
Sure.
Red Dead doesn't, yeah.
No. Well, it's the game type that it introduced in this Black Ops.
Sure,
Yeah.
the battle royale stuff.
if you guys can hear that, Battle Royale appeals to PC players. Everett made a good point. But I think, though, that I really do think that it's, 3 weeks of Call of Duty sales are going to look really, really good compared to 5 days.
Sure.
But I think
But if you
November...
compare apple to apples, 3 weeks of Red Dead sales compared to 3 weeks of Call of Duty sales, it's not even going to be a competition.
Yeah, and I think 5 weeks of Red Dead sales are probably going to look better than 8 weeks of Call of Duty
Sure,
sales.
yeah.
We'll see come the end of November.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just expected Red Dead to already be at the top of 2018 in 5 days. But
Yeah, I mean, I think I did too, but
Yeah.
looking at it and thinking about...
sure, thinking about it
yeah.
more logically, sure, yeah.
Speaking of Red Dead, the question of whether or not Red Dead Redemption 2 would be able to catch Call of Duty seems settled by that fact alone. This is continuing off of that, which I don't think is true. Even though the actual rankings are skewed in Call of Duty's favor by virtue of its earlier release date, Red Dead Redemption 2 only had 9 days of reported sales on this month's charts. 9 days? Came out on the 26th.
Would have been 5.
Yeah, Matt Piscatella. I don't know what you're doing, but it's
You
nonetheless
stupid piece of shit.
Yeah, but it's nonetheless the second best-selling game of this year, tripling the launch month sales of its predecessor.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said it's already the second best-selling game of the year.
Yeah.
See?
Oh.
Did he just say, if he just said after 5 days it's the second best-selling game of the year, but the thing he said about Call of Duty beforehand, he's saying that Red Dead is not going to pass Call of Duty.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
The starting is the question of whether or not Red Dead Redemption 2 would be able to catch Call of Duty seems settled by that fact alone.
What a fucking tool.
But I think he also said 9 days as opposed to 5. I don't know where that number 9 came from.
I don't know. Either.
Overall, Call of Duty and Red Dead's reach, combined with other strong, steady titles, lifted software sales to 965 million for the month, more than doubling last year's sales and representing an all-time high for October. Year-to-date sales are up 16% over last year to 4.8 billion. So we're doing 16% better this year as compared to last year.
Hooray.
Thanks, Trump.
Yeah.
You're doing one thing good.
Yeah, that's MPDs for this month.
It's that bustling economy.
That economy that's about to shut down because nobody will pay for the stupid wall.
They're paying for
about
it.
to happen?
He's threatening to shut down the government.
Yeah, they're only going to pay for the wall.
All right.
It's a tantrum, really.
It's a hard tantrum. It's like everything he does, but he's sure as hell threatened to shut down the government because nobody's paying for the wall.
Yeah.
Shut
All
down
right.
the government, Trey.
This is the world we live in.
God, he's such
That's
a
a real
fucking-
place.
It's a post-Rage 2 world, guys.
Yeah, anything's possible.
Did Rage 2 come out?
No,
Not yet.
Oh, when does that come out?
early next year. I
Oh,
think.
I totally forgot about that. I literally was under the impression that Rage 2 already came out.
That's okay. I think Bethesda forgot about it too.
Oh.
All right.
Yikes.
Anything else you guys want to close the show up with?
Nope.
All right.
Play Red Dead Redemption Online. It's fun.
Follow us on Twitch.
If you guys like what we do, please rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes, the Google Play Store, Spotify, and on YouTube. Although I need to figure out why last week's episode didn't upload to YouTube. You can follow the show on Twitter at Twin Stick Radio or
Thanks,
on Facebook.
Obama.
Yeah, thanks, Obama. We're at Facebook at facebook.com/Twin Stick Radio. We are all on Twitter as well. I am at Darth Trey. Chris is at Short Change Hero with a 3 instead of the E in Hero.
I always think about the stupid meme where Obama has a cookie,
The cookie.
and he's trying to
like
dip it, and it won't dip,
the
it won't
cookie's
fit.
too big.
Yeah. He says, "Thanks, Obama." So stupid.
And Justin is at Justin T. Lopez. The show is produced and edited by Everett Jordan. Give him a follow
Oh,
on Twitter at the56th. All letters, no numbers. And you can follow the guy that made our theme music, Connor Manning, on Twitter at Connor13. One in Connor, 13 spelled out. Good night and good luck.
What if he actually got a new Twitter account? He just hasn't told us yet.
I would do that. That's something I would do.
Get a new Twitter account and not tell anybody? You would never get a new Twitter account.
No, I would get a new Twitter account if people were like
Oh,
commenting
sure.
on mine.
Yeah,
and
but you would never
change
get a
it.
new Twitter account because you're just
That's perfect.
Yeah.
How do you fix perfection?
Well, you put a 3 instead of the E in Hero and say short Hero. That's how you do it.
Because somebody got there first.
Man,
guys.
I dread. I have this sinking feeling that one day, if this podcast ever gets like huge, I'm gonna
gonna
have to
get sued?
change. I'm gonna have to change my name because that name's from a song.
I don't think you're gonna need to.
I hope not because I
doubt
change. I replace the E instead of the with a 3 in Hero.
I don't
Right.
know. I don't know. I don't feel like. I don't feel like your existence is ripping off the
Sure.
song.
Yeah. Sure.
I also don't think Twitter handles are like copy
Subject to
right.
copyright.
yeah. Sure. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
Because if that's the case, I would probably also need to change mine. And
Good call.
I would have
Yeah,
Disney coming
good call.
after me.
Yeah. Good call. Disney does not relent.
Yeah. And you would have to change yours. I'm sure there's another Justin T. Lopez that's more famous.
No, that's why I locked it down. I was like, boom.
Did you
That's
lock
me.
it down though?
I did.
If somebody offered you $1 million to change your Twitter name, you would say no.
Oh no, easily I would sell that. I would
Why is someone offering him $1 million?
That's why I locked it down.
I locked it down. So if somebody wants to buy it, just
Well,
hit me
that's
up.
like-
I'll
I
just change
think,
it to T, spelled T-E-A. Justin
think-
T. Lopez.
I think Gus from like Rooster Teeth or someone from Rooster Teeth bought like Final Fantasy 13 like the website.
What a douche!
FinalFantasy13.com, and I think Square Enix paid him for that website. And
What
that's what people do all
a
the time.
fucking douche, man!
I think that's so smart.
It is not. It's a
'Cause
fucking
by the-
tool of a move.
I think he said he bought it like Final Fantasy 6 or 7.
Sure.
So he had been hanging on to it for years.
I mean, it is smart. It's not dumb. It's just a tool of a move.
Speaking of tool moves, our beloved president did the same thing with Jeb, I think. If you went to like jebbush.com, it redirected you to Donald Trump. Like his like campaign website.
I love that.
So, you know.
Pretty good.
You don't have to like the guy, but you kind of have to love that.
Sure.
Isn't that just funny? Like if it wasn't Donald Trump, right?
If he
like
wasn't our
if
if he
Obama
was just
Obama
on The
had
Apprentice again, then yes.
Sure.
if
Yeah.
Obama had bought HillaryClinton.com and you went to HillaryClinton.com and it forwarded to Obama's website, wouldn't that just be amazing?
If Donald Trump was not our president, that would be a great thing that he has done.
I think if he was a better president, that would be a great thing he's done.
I don't think he's got the mental capacity to be a fucking
Yeah, no.
chimpanzee.
Yeah, no one.
let alone a president.
I'm not debating with you. I'm
Sure.
just saying that, like in the like that story,
Right.
removing the people and placing in people we like is
Sure,
brilliant.
Okay.
It is a true power move.
Yeah.
Sure. Or a tool move.
It's a power tool move.
All right, guys. We'll see you
God,
next
you're
week.
such a fucking power tool, Justin.